Hello guys, full time at Molineux, and it is Wolves 3, Arsenal 1. A thoroughly disappointing result, a thoroughly disappointing evening. I'd love to say surprising result, but I don't think it is really, is it? Given our away form, given the way we've been playing generally in the Premier League, no real surprise about this one. It always looked like a difficult fixture. But I suppose the margin of victory is particularly disappointing, the manner in which we played. And ultimately, we're Arsenal, and we should be able to go to what is essentially a mid-table team and feel confident of getting a result, and yet we never really looked like doing that tonight. Our best period was probably the opening 20 minutes. In terms of the starting lineup, I think Emery did what a lot of people would have wanted him to do. He played with a back four. Mustafi was dropped. Sokratis came in alongside Koscielny. Xhaka and Torreira came into the midfield, having both been sort of saved at the weekend, it seemed, for this fixture. And then three behind the one front man, Lacazette, Mkhitaryan, Ozil and Iwobi. No Aubameyang in the squad. He underwent a minor procedure on a sinus problem. And in that first 20 minutes, we controlled possession, but without really creating anything. And I think that is one of the worrying signs tonight, how impotent we looked in possession. We've got some incredibly creative players out there. Mesut Ozil, I don't think anyone would argue, is one of the most gifted playmakers in the world. He'd never really looked like making anything happen tonight. Henrik Mkhitaryan on his day certainly has the pay packet of someone who's a top creative player. Didn't look like happening. Lacazette wasn't anything close to his best. So I think for all our possession, we never looked like breaking Wolves down. I think that's partly because they took the lead, and from that point on they could sit in and hit us on the break. That's always what they're going to want to do as soon as they got the first goal, which did come against the run of play from a set piece. We were in some trouble, but I do think that after that point, the struggles we had to break Wolves down are a bit troubling. And I think maybe there's something to do with the fact that Unai Emery is quite a reactive coach. It strikes me that he's good in the big games. He's good when he's got something to play off, but when it's left to Arsenal to dictate the play, they just sometimes appear to be a little bit lacking in ideas. I do place some responsibility for that on the players too, but I do think it could be a coaching issue. It's not necessarily a new issue at Arsenal, you'd have to say, if you've seen us in the last few years. Without a maverick individual like Alexis Sanchez, we do struggle to break opponents down. We look very pedestrian, we look quite boring often on the ball. I think we had big problems at the other end of the pitch too. Bernd Leno, I really think he's been one of the contenders for player of the season from an Arsenal point of view. Had by far his worst game in an Arsenal shirt tonight. I have a bit of sympathy with him on the free kick. The wall didn't exactly do him any favours, but from that point on I thought he was poor. He should have done better with both Wolves' goals. Caught in no man's land for the free kick, and then sort of got to Jota's shot on the third but couldn't keep it out. But defensively we were terrible, and we do get caught on the break time and time again. And that's playing with two players who in Xhaka and Torreira are kind of ostensibly defensive-minded. They're certainly playing in the deeper part of the pitch. I thought Koscielny looked ragged. I thought Sokratis was really bad too. I thought he was really bad tonight. I haven't seen much criticism of him, but it was him who was playing Doherty on side from the set piece, it seemed to me, after Carl Jenkinson at the weekend. This time Sokratis, who had come in from Mustafi, and we were hoping for good things. And the way he sort of just hung his leg out and allowed himself to be beaten by Jota. I mean, Jota's a good player, but it wasn't great. But Arsenal don't have players who can do what Jota did, really. Who can run from deep, who can beat two men, who can make things happen like that in the final third. They didn't really do that, and I look at this team, and I look at where our money is in this team, and the players we're heavily invested in, and I think we probably need to start again. If we're serious about Unai Emery and trying to make his system work, I'm not convinced that the personnel is right. I'm not convinced, absolutely, that he is the right man, but it feels to me like we're carrying players who maybe you could afford if you were an absolute elite team. But when you're kind of 5th, 6th, maybe 4th in the standings, I think we need to be more efficient. I think we need to be more effective. And I think we look like a team who were great and have lost their stride. We've got too many players who sort of were renowned as top players and aren't really anymore. I'm thinking of Ozil and Koscielny. I know it's half of Koscielny, Mkhitaryan. I'm thinking of Monreal to a lesser extent. There are players who are sort of on the downward trajectory. And then there are players who, like Guendouzi, Maitland-Niles, Nketiah, who came on and was relatively promising, kind of on the up, but not really where they want to be yet. We can't play like a Wolves. We can't just sit back and hit people on the break. But nor do we have the quality to do what a Man City does or a Liverpool does and sort of control the game. Massive gap, isn't there, between the top two? I would say between the top two and Spurs there's a big gap. And then I'd say there's quite a big gap from Spurs to the rest. And incredibly, we kind of still have a chance of finishing in the top four. I know people will be laughing at me for saying it, but Man U and Chelsea are so poor. And, we've got 3 games left. If we can somehow fluke results in them, it's all there for us still, which is insane. I mean, this team would be murdered in the Champions League, you'd have to think. But it could be good for the squad, it could be good for the club. And there's still the Europa League. So I'm not despondent, I am disappointed. And actually I think, come the end of the season, when we look at this run of results, we'll say, yeah, we lost at Wolves. But I think the Palace defeat is so much more damaging. And I fear what might come at Leicester, and I fear what might come at Burnley. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'll speak to you Sunday after the Leicester game. They are an infuriating bunch to watch, and that hasn't changed, has it, this season? Bye.